Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our reading today. This is a new deck. I've been waiting to open it with you guys, um, but I had a busy week and I didn't get a chance to do anything until like recently. So I've been trying to figure out how to do live for you guys, and it's just been crazy. Um, so this I ordered. I think I ordered it from a site that I saw online. This is the rose. I don't know that the video doesn't really do justice, but this is the rose color. It says gold foil tarot. It's a magnetic box, so it automatically locks. I ordered it and it came from China. It said it was imported from China. This is the only thing that happened to it. It was it was shipped inside of a bag, and this is the only thing that it seemed to have damaged on the box. But the cards are okay. So, but this is what it looks like. It says, "Let's share the world of tarot happily." Um, this is what the box looks like. I like the box. I think it's really nice. It's organized nice. This is the guide deck, which I guess it's okay. If you have a hard time seeing, though, it is very small print. But I don't use the guide deck because I've been working with tarot for quite a while now. So I don't use the guide decks. And not to mention, to be honest with you, I don't think you really need it with this deck because yeah, this is the teaching deck. So I like the teaching deck because for two reasons. One, it helps you to remember the oh, how do I get that open without hurting the card? It helps you to remember the words. And two, some of the people I do readings with, they've never like they've had bad experiences with tarot. Honestly, some of you guys, ooh, you've told me about how some of the readings were negative and how they basically told you such terrible things to kind of encourage you to keep coming back to get more guidance because they like basically like put fear into you, which is just terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Um, wow, they really like sealed this. I can honestly say that though. Like the cards are really sealed. But so I like the idea that don't uh these decks don't do that. Like they give you a nice reading, right? So it looks gold. It really does, but it's pink. It's a pink deck. I don't know. I can't show you the real color. It's not gold. I don't know why the camera's making it look gold. It's actually pink. It's like a rose color. It's a real pretty rose color, but it does. It looks gold in the camera. Isn't that interesting? But yeah, it's not gold. It's pink. It's a pink, like pink rose. So this is what it looks like. My goodness, it is really hard to get open. I don't want to like scratch the cards up. You know what? I know what I can do. I can take some of the cards out and then there we go. That worked. Okay. So let's take a look. So this is gold, the rose colored gold tarot. Okay. So again, you can't tell. It kind of looks gold, but it's not gold. It's rose colored. It's like a pinkish color. So this is the cards, what they look like. They're kind of shiny, foily looking. Right, so we'll just go through a quick view of what they look like. So as you can see, there's symbols on the cards, there's meanings on the cards. Um, Very shiny, very glittery looking. Again, they're not gold, they're pink, but my camera is making them look very gold. So, but they're actually pink in color. So this is the rose colored deck. So let's take a look at our I'm not going to go through all the cards because there's 78 cards. So, and if you know tarot, then you know what the cards look like. So, I was just waiting to open them on camera because I wanted to show you what it looked like opening them. The backs are very, very pretty. The paper is like it's not really paper. It's kind of like like it's thin, but it's not cheap either. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna like tear and and fall apart kind of thing. So let's take a look. Let's do a reading for the collective. Ooh, I was trying to go live today on on Facebook, and I ended up going live on YouTube, but it worked out because I got practice for YouTube now too. So maybe I can pick either or. I can go live on YouTube till I build up my Facebook page. But let me know in the comments. I don't know if I'm going to like this deck. I don't know. The pages are kind of I don't know, it's weird. After you're used to working with cardboard, like the cardboard kind of cards, it's weird working with like a foil. And it's very light. It feels like it wants to take off flying across um it feels like it wants to fly across the what do you call that? I can't believe it doesn't show you the true color of the deck. I don't know. I wonder why the camera makes it gold. That's interesting. I don't know. But again, it is the color of the box. The cards are like the color of they're like it's like a pretty pink color. All right, so let's take a look at our first card. Our first card is Ace of Swords, air. So logic, power, heart. Speak your mind to solve your problems. So this is all about, can you see the words? I'm sorry. I was like turning it to see if you could see the words in the camera. Um, so this is all about logic, being speaking from the heart in a truthful manner and being honest with your emotions and your thoughts. Like, don't play games with someone and don't let people play games with you. Be upfront and honest about the situation. Okay, be willing um, to clarify something. Like if something doesn't make any sense to you, to simply state that doesn't make any sense to me. Can you clarify or can you make it more clear for me? If somebody has an issue with you, you can ask them, I'm sorry, do you understand what I'm saying or are you not understanding it? Do I need to clarify it for you? Right? Just make sure Ace of Swords is all about miscommunication and being able to bring that miscommunication into understanding because a lot of times we get into fights or we get upset or whatever and it's really just miscommunication. It's really just not totally understanding what the person is trying to say or do. Okay, and your next card is Temperance, which is a major arcana card. And this is all about seeking balance and creating a calm atmosphere in your life and in the situation. Okay, so with this card, it is telling you that it's very important to have the right communication, right? The right communication in what you're doing is what is going to bring that balance in. If you're not communicating right, then there's always going to be this imbalance energy, especially if you're trying to build on something, right? The foundation of anything you're trying to build on has to be clear communication. Communication is like the foundation of anything. Without clear communication, then things get twisted, things get lost in the mix, things get misunderstood. There's hardships, there's hard feelings, there's things that don't align right the way they're supposed to because maybe this person isn't doing something when somebody else expects them to do it. And so like This is the temperance card is reminding you of the importance of balance, and balance comes from the importance of speaking clearly. And of course, this is a fire energy, so this is something that's very, very important in your life. This is something that really requires you to have in your energy. Okay, so maybe you're a type of person where if you don't have balance, you have a really hard time focusing. You have a really hard time doing anything. Maybe um, you're just emotionally not right because you don't have the right balance. So you might be the type of person where you have to have balance in your life. It might just be a part of who you are and a part of what you require in order to be able to maintain your energy correctly. So your next card is Three of Cups, which is a water card. So a lot of emotions, there's a lot of things here like you want to be happy, you want to celebrate, you want to be with others, you want the friendships, you want the joys, you want the interactions in the society um, that grows you around you, right? This is all about finding the right energy that vibes with you. And for some of you, this might be hard because maybe certain people around you don't know how to communicate. Maybe certain people around you throw off your balance, right? So it's kind of like a tug of war with yourself. Like you want this kind of relationship with others. You want to be able to have deep meaningful conversations. You want to support others and you want people that support you in your life. But maybe like the people in your life right now aren't exactly the 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 right on the right balance themselves. And so this can kind of make things difficult. So it's kind of like a seeking relationship. Like you're seeking out a new path, you're seeking out new people that align with you, that get you, that understand you. Um, and you want to be able to be with those that reciprocate your energy as well, right? So it's a give and take, not just a give and then feeling empty. Everybody's cups in this picture is full. Everybody is enjoying each other's um, overflowing abundance. Okay, as you can see, there's lots of abundance down here. So I feel like for some of you, you might need to speak a little louder about what you need in your life and what makes you happy. And for some of you, the people might adjust to that and they might honor that. And for others, you might need to start connecting or allowing the universe to connect you with other people that align more into your true path of who you truly wish to be, okay, who you truly are hoping to connect with and grow with, okay, because maybe um, for some of you, you might not be growing because the people around you are choosing not to grow. And if they choose not to grow and they choose not to honor the path of communication and balance and um, creating a calmer, more enjoyable atmosphere, if they choose not to do that, then it's going to unbalance you, and eventually the universe is going to give you the crossroads of do you want to stay here or do you want to move forward, right? Do you can't take certain people with you if they're not willing to do the work. So your next card is Queen of Wands, right? So this is, you can always call on your natural confidence. Okay, so Queen of Wands is all about who you truly are. You are a warm, compassionate, enthusiastic person, right? You are a determined person, and you are a person of independence, and you've learned a lot from yourself. You are stable. You're that calm person within you because you did a lot of work to make yourself that person. You did a lot of work to get yourself here. So you have a right to say, this is, if you want to be with me, it's not saying that somebody has to change. It's basically giving them an understanding that you have changed and you're not the same person you used to be. And your beliefs and your understanding and your way of addressing things it's not the same as it used to be. You've grown, you've matured in a lot of ways, and you're basically, letting the person know that you want this same energy given back to you that you are giving yourself. You've worked hard to get here, and you are anticipating to be in the energy of stability and reciprocation. People that truly want to see you rise, people that truly appreciate your independence and your skills and your abilities, and people who have deep conversations with you instead of like making fun of your conversations or having to compete whenever you're in a situation. You want more of that honorable, balanced information and communication. And another thing too is like another thing that comes in here is like you have done the work on yourself, so you honor others as well that's done the work. And so you have a tendency of being able to see who truly is doing the work and who truly wants to be in the right energy and who is just kind of like faking it. So you have a lot of discernment here over like the certain things. And notice how like the person is looking away, right? So it's almost like you have learned how to just turn your heads to certain people and situations. Like you've realized that this person might not ever change, and that's their choice. Everybody has their own free will. But I feel like in this reading, you have realized that you have grown and you will not accept certain things anymore like you used to, right? And funny how that is that we have three, four, five, right? So like it one, three, four, five. Okay, so it's almost like everything has to work together, right? You're at a point now where everything it doesn't always have to work together in order. Because notice how the numbers are out of order. It doesn't always have to work together in order, but you're at a point where everything has to work to make it work. Does that make sense? Like you got to have the communication, you got to have the balance, you got to have the reciprocity of others, like, others in the same energy as you, others that respect you, others that honor what you've done, others that honor themselves, right? So like the self-love, you got to be around others that have self-love as well, so that their egos aren't getting in the way. And that is what brings you the true energy of who you truly are and what you're meant to do and how you're meant to lead and where you're meant to go to, like from here. Okay, and then our closing card is Four of Cups. Don't let your focus close you to new ideas. Okay, so this is all about realizing that there are other ways to make this situation work, right? So again, we have contemplation, uh, lack of um, lack of risk, boredom. Uh, So basically, what this card is saying is don't allow the energies that don't serve your highest good to stop you from doing what you need to continue doing yourself. If these, like for example, if you have a person in your life and they don't want to do the work to raise their energy. Okay, they choose to be who they choose to be. And that doesn't mean that you can't love that person. That doesn't mean that you can't still have that person in your life, but it just means that maybe you need to have discernment over how much energy and time you give that person. And you need to make sure that that person knows that you are on a different path than what they are on. So if you're going to devote yourself to a certain area or doing a certain thing, you need to just let that person know, I'm sorry, but I'm working on this right now. This is where my attention is. This is where my focus is right now. And that way that person knows that you're not expecting them to work on themselves to make you happy. But you're also not going to stop your progress to go backwards into an energy that you have worked very hard to get yourself away from. And that's going to come back to the communication. That's going to come back to your Ace of Swords of power and speaking from the heart, right? That person is going to be well aware that that their connection with you is different, and that they have to make the choice no different than you do over how that connection is going to be in the future, right? Is it going to fade? Is it going, are they going to do the work that they need to do to keep in align with your energy, or are they going to continue down this path that they want to go on while you continue down this path that you want to go on? Right. So you're trusting in the universe. The universe is coming in and the universe is saying, here, let me show you what to do with this. So the universe is reminding you, please don't get stuck on this. Don't get stuck on the whole, well, I don't have the communication that I need. They're not offering the balance that I need. I don't have the people that I need to really, the universe is telling you, don't focus on this. Right? Don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you do. And that is everything that you have inside of you, everything that you've worked so hard to get to where you are right now. Focus on that. Okay. The rest of it will work its way out. Somehow or another, it'll work its way out. These numbers all work together. So they're all within the first, your first hand basically, right? So they'll all work together. Eventually, it'll work itself out, right? So these people have their own work to do. And you can't hold yourself back waiting to see what they're going to do. It's their life, it's their choices. It's not yours. So you have to take the initiative to make your own choice of what you're going to do with this situation, right? So the best thing to do as far as your card is telling you to focus on the universe. Focus on the good. Focus on what's coming in that wants to help you to move forward. Find your stability. Find your happiness. Find your peace. Find what helps you to balance and go with that, okay? Yes, you can have apathy for the people, the situation, but don't give it your energy to the point where you're pulled back into it, okay? Keep yourself on the path that you are going, and trust that those that are meant to come in will come in. There's a transformation here within you and within others. So you have to allow everything to work out in a way that benefits everyone. The main thing for you is to understand what you need to keep yourself moving forward and aligned with the universe and your purpose and your happiness and your inner self. Okay. And to see everything as gratitude, grateful. Be grateful for everything that you've experienced so far. Even if the people end up leaving your life, there was still a purpose that was served. Be grateful for that purpose. Have love for that purpose. Also, trust that what you don't have is okay, because the universe will give it to you in another form, right? That's what this is coming in. Like, these cups all look the same, right? But the universe is offering the same but in a different form, right? This one's coming in a totally different way. Okay, so maybe you can find balance in your own way of doing things separately from this situation. A perfect example might be like family members. We have family members, but we don't always agree with our family members. We don't always get along with our family members. That doesn't mean that we don't stop having them as family members, right? It just means that maybe um, there's a certain way that you need to do things, and then you need to know when to let them do their thing the way that they need to do things. But don't allow a situation that isn't aligned with you, isn't balanced with you, to pull away your happiness. Okay, so be able to speak up, speak your truth, stand your ground, and move in the direction that makes you happy, while honoring and loving those for the choices and the direction that they choose to go. Okay. All right, that is our reading with our new deck. I didn't clear the deck because I just opened it on camera. So let me show you how I clear my decks. So with this deck here, I would burn some sage. I feel like it's a sage deck. Each deck's different. Some decks are sage decks, some decks are bell decks. Um, I feel like this one's a sage deck though. So I'm just going to light some sage. And what I like to do is just, since it came from China, that's a long ways over. I don't know who all has touched these. So what I will do is just go through each card. Thank you, thank you, thank you for clearing this deck. Thank you, universe, for this beautiful deck. Whoever made this, it is a beautiful deck. They did such a beautiful job with the colors and the designs, and it is a little difficult to read though. The words and stuff can be a little difficult to read. I will be honest with that one. Um, it might be easier if you uh, had a different lighting. It might just be my lighting, to be honest, because like I said, this isn't even the true color. It literally looks gold, and it is not gold. It is pink. It is it is like it's like this color pink. So I think it's the foil, but it looks like this. This is the color pink that it actually is. It's like a baby pink. But I think it's the foil that makes it look like like it's gold because I think it's reflecting off of the camera and it's giving it a gold look versus the real authentic pink pearl kind of look. But I like to just clear each card, and it's really good to separate your cards and touch your cards because your fingers have oil. And a lot of times when you separate your cards and touch your cards, what it will do is it'll keep the cards from sticking together whenever you do readings. One thing that's really not fun is whenever you're trying to do readings for people and the cards are sticking together, right? So what I normally do is I will clear the cards with the sage, right? This is a big deck. There's 78 cards, so I'm going to go just a little bit faster. You can also use candlelight. You can clear it over candles. I've seen people do that. Again, please be very careful when you do that because you can damage your card from the heat. Some cards are not as resistant as others. I would not choose to do that with this card because I think it would melt just because of the the material that they use for the cards. I think the heat would literally melt the card. So I'm not using candle energy. I'm just using smoke energy, but you can use bells. I know some people like to leave their cards outside. I don't like to do that because where I live in Pennsylvania, you just never know when it's going to rain or anything like that, and I don't want my cards to get damaged. Um, so I don't leave my cards outside, but I know some people do. I've seen people make a crystal circle. They take crystal and they make it in the shape of a circle, and they will set their cards inside the circle to clear their cards. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a perfectly okay way to clear your cards. I also like to hold my cards to my heart, and I like to bless the cards and give gratitude to the cards, uh, and set an intention for the highest good, for readings to be for the highest good. That's what I like to do. You can also sage your guidebook. Okay, you can sage your guidebook. You can sage the box that your cards come in. That's a great way to um, clear the energy, right? Again, some people like to use bows. You could use multiple ones if you feel pulled to use sage and bell energy, that's fine. You can use multiple ones. I will also hold these cards to my heart and I will say thank you so much for these cards. Thank you for allowing me to do readings for others with these cards. Please bless these cards for the highest good of anyone who interacts with them. Please let these cards um, relay messages by visual to the people who are watching too, so that it's not just the words, but also the vision. Thank you to the person who created these cards, and much love and protection around this energy in these cards. Right. So, and I'm going to clear to tap 3 times to set that energy. So, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for opening the deck with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye.